Yeah. So we will just take that I is extremum along the curve y of x, and we just take h of alpha of x and add it to this y of x. We'll get a one more curve, okay, with the same endpoints p and q. Here h is a small quantity. We assume one more thing, that alpha of x1 is 0 and alpha of x2 is 0. Okay, now if you see this curve, if you put this h as 0, obviously these two curves are going to coincide. Okay, so we'll get the condition that I will be extremum when h is 0. What is our I? Our I is the same thing, but in place of y, you put it as y of x plus h into alpha of x. So this is what the functional you will get. Then for any function, we have learned basically for any function to have maxima or minima, its first order derivative should be 0. So when the critical point is in terms of h, derivative of this I with respect to h has to be 0. Correct? Treating I to be a function of h. So let us find what is di by dh. For this, differentiate both the sides with respect to h. Now here what we have, it is derivative of integration. So take that derivative inside, it converts to partial derivative. This is by Leibniz rule. This is by Leibniz rule. Okay, now this is derivative of, we have three variables. Let us use chain rule and find out. So here if you apply chain rule, it is dou f by dou x into dou x by dou y, sorry, dou h plus dou f by dou y into dou y by dou h plus dou f by dou y dash into dou y dash by dou h with respect to x. Now here, there is no x and h are not at all related. H is independent of x. So what is the value? Derivative? It has to be 0. Since now y is y of x plus h into alpha of x. And what is y dash for this? Y dash is y dash of x plus h into alpha dash of x. Okay, now differentiate this quantity with respect to h. So dy by dh is alpha of x, dy dash of dh. If you just differentiate this with respect to h, this becomes 0, h is 1, derivative of h with respect to h is 1, you will get it as alpha dash of x. Let us substitute the values. So there were three terms. As the first term is 0, you will get only, you left out with two terms. Now these are the values substituted. Now what we'll do, we'll keep the first term as it is, will not disturb it. Second term, we are going to integrate with respect to, that is integrate by parts. By parts means we have to fix first of the function. I'll treat this as u, and then what is the integration of alpha dash? Alpha dash is alpha of x. Similarly, integration minus integration of, that is we have to take differentiation of the first function, then integration of alpha dash is alpha of x. Okay, now here we are going to substitute the limits. So dou f by dou y dash, you can keep it common or you can write it for both the terms. Then upper limit alpha of x2 minus lower limit x1, so alpha of x1. But these two both are 0. So what happens? This whole term becomes 0. So here we have di by dh, which will be, this is gone. So in these two terms, clearly you can see alpha of x is common with integration with respect to x between the same limits. So if you take common quantities, what we'll get is, this is dou f by dou y from first term, and from last term we'll get it as minus d by dx of dou f by dou y dash. Okay, now what we have checked earlier, that di by dh is 0. So that here this quantity is 0 means this also has to be 0. This is 0 means now it is a product. So this is 0 or this may be 0. So if you put alpha of x as 0, then actually we will not get much of the things over here. So we'll put that alpha of x is not 0. So we get this square bracket as 0. So that if this you equate it to 0, this is what is a required Euler's equation. Now what we started, that I is extremum. So that we'll get that this is nothing but the necessary condition for any functional to have extremum. This is what is your Euler's equation.